Problem Solving. My name is Nur Elena Afika binti Ahmad. My metric number is 305734. Let me introduce on this study focused on human rights, which give people dignity and fair treatment. In Malaysia, these rights are protected under the federal constitutions and include rights such as life, liberty, equality, speech, religion, and movement. However, this right can be limited for safety and a public order. This study also examines how well students understand their rights and aims to increase awareness of human rights and responsibilities. The problem statement on this study is because many students still have low awareness of fundamental rights in the federal constitutions. Most students only have basic knowledge and do not fully understand the meaning, scope, and real-life application of this right. In addition, there is confusion about the limits of this right, which can be restricted for safety, national security, and public orders. Students are also less aware of the proper channels to report rights violations. Next, for research objective are to determine the level of knowledge and awareness of fundamental rights among SOG students. The study also explores students' understanding of rights such as freedom of speech and freedom of religions. In addition, it examines student perception of the protection of fundamental rights in Malaysia and their knowledge of channels for reporting rights violations. For research questions are, firstly, what is the level of knowledge and awareness of fundamental rights among SOG students? Secondly, to what extent do SOG students understand fundamental rights such as freedom of speech? Thirdly, how do SOG students perceive the effectiveness of fundamental rights protections in Malaysia? Lastly, what is the level of knowledge among SOG students regarding channels available for reporting or addressing violations of their rights?
My name is Tung Shefo, metric number 306149. For the literature review, this session focuses on student awareness of fundamental rights and the factors influencing their understanding. Previous studies show that students generally know the basic rights such as freedom of speech and equality, but they often lack a deeper understanding, especially in applying this right in real-life situations. This creates a gap between theoretical knowledge and practical applications. In terms of factors influencing awareness, several aspects have been identified. Firstly, academic background plays an important role. Students from law or political science usually have higher awareness compared to other disciplines. Secondly, media and information exposure also helps students to better understand their rights, especially when they follow current issues and news. Thirdly, teaching methods are also important, where case studies are found to be more effective than traditional lectures in improving understanding. Lastly, personal interest in current issues such as politics and social methods can also increase student awareness of fundamental rights. Overall, this finding highlights the need for future study on student awareness of fundamental rights, particularly among university students.
Hi, my name is Nur Ala Nadia and my metric number is 307959. I will continue with 6.0 methodology. This chapter explains the method used to study the awareness of basic rights among SOG students. The research focuses on how the data is collected and analyzed to ensure the study is reliable and accurate. For 6.1, research design. This study used a quantitative research method because the data collected can be measured and analyzed in numerical form. An online survey is used to collect responses from students. The independent variable is the student's knowledge and exposure to fundamental rights, while the dependent variable is their level of awareness. 6.2 is population and sample. The target population of this study is undergraduate students from the School of Government (SOG) at University Utara Malaysia. These students are selected because they are familiar with public administration and policy. A total of 100 respondents will participate in this research. And then I will continue with 6.3 sampling technique. This study uses purposeful sampling and convenience sampling. Purposeful sampling is used to select SOG students who are relevant to the study. The survey link will be shared through WhatsApp and Telegram platform. 6.4 Research Instrument. The research instrument used in this study is a questionnaire created through Google Form. The questionnaire contains 4 sections. For Part A, focus on demography information such as gender, age, ethnicity, and year of study. For Part B, as for student knowledge and exposure to fundamental rights. For Part C, measure the student level of awareness, while Part D allows respondents to give suggestions on how to improve awareness on campus. We'll continue with 6.5 data collection procedure. The data is collected online to make the process easier and faster. The questionnaire link is distributed through student platform and social media applications. Before answering the survey, respondents are given a short introduction about the study. Participation is voluntary and all responses remain anonymous. It's 6.6 data analysis. After all responses are collected, the data will be analyzed using descriptive statistics. For section A, frequency and percentage are used to describe the demographic background of respondent. For section B and C, mean scores are calculated to measure the level of awareness among students.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Anadna Bita Hamdan, my metric number 30803. Today I would like to explain 7.0 findings and analysis of our base on responses from 100 SOG student at UM. So this section focuses on demographic background, level of knowledge and understanding, awareness of fundamental right, and recommendation to improve awareness among the students. So 7.1 is demographic profile of respondents is based on the findings agenda. 78 respondents will female, while 22 respondents will male. So this shows that female students were the majority respondents of this case study. So next is for age. Most respondents, which are 92 students, are between 21 to 20 years old because the majority involved the undergraduate students. So next semester, most respondents will from semester 4 with 85 students involved in the survey. So this may because semester 4 students have more exposure to university learning and academic discussion. Lastly, for race, the majority of respondents were Malays with 85 students, followed by the Chinese, Indian, Orang Asli, and Siam students. So this reflect the demographic background of SOG students at UM. So next is for age. Most respondents, which are 92 students, are between 21 to 20 years old because the majority involved the undergraduate students. So next semester, most respondents were from semester 4 with 85 students involved in the survey. So this may because semester 4 students have more exposure to university learning and academic discussion. Lastly, for race, the majority of respondents were Malays with 85 students, followed by the Chinese, Indian, Orang Asli, and Siam students. So this reflect the demographic background of SOG students at UM. So next for question number 4 is constitutional protection of rights. Majority students, 46 respondents strongly agree and 42 respondents agree. So this because they learn about this right through the formal education. So question number 5 is respondents strongly agree that formal learning improve their understanding because university subject provide the more exposure and to constitutional knowledge. Strongly agree is 45 respondents, and this is highest recorded responses. Number 6 is area of workplace. This is 36 strongly agree. Alright, so this is because students have the less practical exposure compared to theoretical learning. Alright, so next 7.3 level of awareness and perception of fundamental right is DV. So question number 7. Most respondents believe Malaysia is effective in protecting human rights is because the government has laws and institutions to protect the citizen rights. This is 52 respondents agree and 51 respondents strongly agree and minority neutral and disagree response. Question number 8 is for freedom of expression of university. Responses will miss because some students may still feel uncomfortable expressing opinions openly. Majority is agree, 47 respondents. Strongly agree is 34 respondents. Question number 9, which is more respondents agree that the government play an important role in protecting the human rights, is because the government responsible for enforcing laws and justice. Number 10 is lastly Respondents also believe that the awareness among the students still low overall because not all the students are active exposed to human rights education because 44 respondents choose agree and 28 respondents choose strongly agree. So last but not least, for 744 is a recommendation and strategies to improve the awareness. So recommendation 1, most respondents suggest including the human rights education in university subject because education is the best way to increase awareness among the students. Secondly, they also recommended the seminars and awareness talk because this program can provide the direct exposure and the deeper understanding. Recommendation number 3 is beside that, the respondent suggested using the social media platforms, so like the Instagram, TikTok, because they are effective in spreading information quickly among young people. Lastly, recommendation number 4 is encourage the collaboration with organizations such as Suhakam because expert and NGO can provide the practical knowledge and real life example about the human rights.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Anissa Hidayati Jamaluddin. My number currently is 308256. I will present the discussion part of our study. Based on our findings, most SGD students have basic awareness about fundamental rights such as freedom of speech and freedom of religion. This may be because SGD students learn subjects related to governance and law. However, some students they do not fully understand the limitations and real-life application of these rights. For example, some students think freedom of speech means they can say anything online, but in Malaysia, there are still laws that limit speech related to public order and sensitive issues. Besides that, many students are unsure about the correct channels to use if their rights are violated. For example, some students may not know where to report unfair treatment or discrimination. This shows that awareness alone is not enough. Students also need better understanding and practical knowledge of fundamental liberties. In conclusion, these studies show that SOG students generally have basic awareness of fundamental rights in Malaysia. However, their understanding of the scope, limitations, and application of these rights is still limited. Some students also do not know the proper procedures to follow when their rights are violated. Therefore, it is important to improve students' understanding of constitutional rights to help them become more informed and responsible individuals. Lastly, we would like to suggest several recommendations. Firstly, universities should organize more programs such as talks, seminars, and workshops about constitutional rights. For example, universities can invite legal experts or representatives from the Malaysia Bar to give talks to students. Secondly, teaching methods should include more discussions and real-life examples to help students understand the topic better. Lastly, universities should provide clearer information about the proper channels for reporting right violations. That's all for me. Thank you.